Minor adjustments are dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. The words in that mission statement, it says to obtain, and the other one is maintain. Listen to me. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. Maintain means to keep it in existence. Listen. The reason why I say that, everybody say to obtain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Say to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome everybody to the Minor Adjustments virtual group. My name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. Every time I hear my own self say that, to obtain my sobriety is easy. My challenge is to maintain it. I'll go over that. That's the mission statement for Minor Adjustments. But our motto, watch this, y'all. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Now, watch this. A lot of individuals won't actually grab hold of this concept of anywhere but backwards. It came from Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24, and it says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they followed the counsels of their own hearts, and they kept going backwards and not forward. Anywhere but backwards seems very simple, but it is the most powerful thing that I have tapped into 15 years ago, because for 22 years of my life, I struggled with crack cocaine and heroin and criminal lifestyle, right? In August 2009, that was the last time that I did anything, right? So I was in the Salvation Army, and I heard those words, anywhere but backwards. At that time, I didn't have a spiritual foundation. I just locked hold on those terms, anywhere but backwards. In this particular program called the Minor Adjustments Program, our motto, our mantra is anywhere but backwards. If no matter what I teach, no matter what I'm telling you, if you can just grab hold of that one particular concept about no matter what comes your way, I'm not going back to using drugs. I have to deal with whatever comes my way. I'm going to have to deal with it under a sober mind. I'm not going back to what I came out of. But let's look at a few things. So our topic today, we're going to talk about Living Victorious. One of the books that I use, let's change that. No, let me get this one. One of the things or the books that I use or that I have written, because I'm a 10-time published author, but this is the book that the Minor Adjustments Program is focused on. All right. So let's look at the mission statement. A few things before I do that. I also want to put a link in here for anybody who would like to take our online course, because you can become a minor adjustments facilitator in your area, so we can establish the minor adjustments program in your facility, at your program, or if you're a recovery coach or counselor and you would like to inquire about having it established there, take the minor adjustments online facilitator course, connect with me and my wife, and we can help establish it in your area. What else I would like to put in here? I also want to put in here our website. Let me put the website in here, because we got so many things that you can go to our website and you can connect loved ones to. So I want to provide that with you as well. And all that will be in the comment section, all right, on YouTube or on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and share it with some of your friends dealing with criminal lifestyle and or substance issues, strongholds, whatever terminology fits you. I really don't care. It's okay. But listen, this book, we're going to go to the mission statement. If you was tuned in when we first came on, this mission statement is very powerful. I want to unpack it real quick. So what I was saying was minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Now, watch this. The two words you see on your screen are big and highlighted are obtain and maintain. Why are these words important? Now, I'm going to show you. I'm teaching you literally what I've learned for my own personal life. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. To maintain means to keep what you have come into the possession of into existence. Why is this important? Many individuals, me included, have spent multiple years obtaining our sobriety, obtaining our freedom from incarceration, obtaining our freedom or being delivered from strongholds, right? We obtain it, but watch this, we go back to the same thing that we had possession of, and this is the issue. The issue is, this is why minor adjustments is a totally different strategy, perfected program, right? The issue is not coming into possession of your sobriety. You already obtained that. The issue is maintaining it, meaning to obtain my sobriety is easy. The challenge is to maintain it. Why is the challenge to maintain it so difficult? Because in order for you to maintain your sobriety, you're going to have to get relapse prevention skills, develop your faith, your spiritual development. You're going to have to get mentors, sobriety coaches. You're going to have to do a lot of changing, right? In order for you to maintain that sobriety. You don't have to go get it once you are. Okay, thank you. In August 2009, I obtained my sobriety. I didn't have to go obtain my sobriety in August 2010. I simply had to go do what I needed to do to continue to keep it in existence. If you're in a particular program, faith-based program, Salvation Army, prison program, I don't care where you at. You have to take that. So it's so important that it's a vital place where you are. You have to learn everything you need to learn while you are there, because you can't wait to leave the facility or leave the program and say, you know what, I'm going to work on something now that I'm out of that program. It just doesn't work like that. If you want to, one of the things you have to develop, if realistically, some individuals have destroyed their relationships with their families due to their issues they had with the substance, right? Now, so if that be the case, and it most likely is, and with your wives, ex-wives, children, all that, right? It gets destroyed because of substance is the only thing that's important to us when we're actively using. So now you might not have the family support in place when you're about to leave. So you want to build your recovery support network with the individuals you're living with currently. Excuse me, especially the ones who are focused on going in the direction you're going in. All right, let's move. We're going to go to, I'm going to move to, what chapter I want to move to? Let's do, I'm going to do Living Victorious. Let's do that. All right, let's put this up here. I'm going to do the last chapter in the book. And the reason why I'm doing the last chapter in the book is because I just was doing a lot of the other chapters. So I'm going to do Living Victorious. Let's go through that. As soon as I get there, I should have been there. Oh. Did I pass it? Oh, no. Okay, let's go back. Now, each group we do, we always have what's called an expectation. Listen to me, you future facilitators. You should always have an expectation for the group. It doesn't have to be the same expectation that I have. You should always pre-read the material. I'm talking to facilitators. If you pre-read the material before you present it to them, it will birth an expectation in you. And you want to always tell them, this is my expectation for this group. right now, my expectation is everyone's heart of the champion will be revived. Everyone's heart of a champion will be revived. I'll discuss that expectation in a moment, but let me read this. Living victorious does not mean freedom from temptation, nor does it mean freedom from mistakes, nor does it mean freedom from losing. But you must never be satisfied with losing or even be happy with your mistakes. You must get terribly angry about losing and your mistakes. Watch this. But the mark of a good loser is that they take their anger out on themselves. What does that mean? Not physically harming yourself. I'm glad you don't think that. But it means they assume responsibility for their actions and not their victorious opponent, right? Well, the Ohio State college football team and the Michigan Wolverines played each other. Ohio State was predicted to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. They ended up losing the game, right? After they lost the game, now they want to get on the field and they want to fight. But this is the thing. Don't get mad at the people who beat you. You should be mad at yourself or taking responsibility of how you let that team beat y'all, period. So this is the thing that we have to make sure we take responsibility for our actions and not the victorious opponent. Victory, watch this, y'all. Victory is always possible for someone who refuses to stop fighting, watch these words, to obtain, come into the possession of, and maintain, keep it in existence, living victorious. So victory is always possible for you. It's always possible for me, especially when you are so determined that I'm going to make it. You listen to me. You have to be victory. Let me read it again. Victory is always possible for someone who refuses to stop fighting to obtain and maintain living victorious. So if you tap out, right, of trying to live a victorious life, it's going to be easy for you to go back to the life you used to do, because that's, watch these words, it's our comfort zone. But watch this. If you are determined to live a victorious life, then that means you'll do everything that's necessary, that's positive, to help keep your path on living victorious, right? You got to understand this is very important, because this brings me back to my expectation. Thank you, Lord. I will remember that. My expectation is everyone's heart of a champion will be revived. What does that mean? Everybody, if you know this or not, before you started doing any types of substance, alcohol, pills, or whatever it was that derailed your life from what it was previously before it, right? You had some type of passion or a champion in you, or some type of feeling of succeeding in something, and that part of you is still in you. It just needs to be revived, right? It just you need someone. This is why I use my own life as a demonstration, because that champion you have in you is still there. It just needs to be revived. You got to understand, when somebody appears to be dying or something, and they go get that machine to try to revive them, right? Before they try to revive them, they yell out a word. They yell out clear, like, watch out, because I'm about to bring him back to life. I am the individuals that tell everybody around me to clear out, is because the call and the purpose on my life is going to be used in such a powerful way that I'll be able to revive the heart of a champion that I know that is in you. You might not know that that heart of a champion is still in you. It's still been in you. It has always been in you. It simply just needs to be revived. So my expectation for this brief group that we're going to do today is that everybody's heart of a champion will be revived. And you see on the screen, it has the Houston Rockets. If you can go to your phone or look it up later, you would see the story about the Houston Rockets when they were in the playoffs and they were the champions and they were going to try to repeat as champions and they were losing this particular game. And the coach called the timeout. And the coach called the timeout. When he called the timeout, he looked down at the other opponent's bench. When he looked at the opponent's bench, he saw them down there celebrating. They was clapping, high-fiving because they was winning by a lot of points. And the Houston Rockets, who was the current champion, trying to go for a repeat with Hakeem Olajuwon. The coach looked at them down there celebrating, and he looked at his teams, and they had their heads down. And it's a legendary statement. The coach went over to the team. He looked at the team. He looked down the bench, and they had their heads down, and he made this statement: never underestimate the heart of a champion. He told his team, never underestimate the heart of a champion. And you know what? When they went back on the court, the team that was celebrating because they thought that they was going to beat the Houston Rockets, they end up losing, and the Houston Rockets became two-time NBA champions. Now, listen, I said all that to say this. I speak that into your life. It might appear to be you're losing. It might appear to be that the drugs got the best of you. It might appear to be you're not going to get your family and your wife and your job back. But let me tell you something right now. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. It appeared to a lot of individuals in my life, family or friends, people I didn't know, when they saw my life and saw all of the years of the criminal activity, the crime, the drugs, and all of that, it appeared to them that my life was over. But they made one mistake. They never should have underestimated the heart of a champion. That heart of a champion is not just in me. It is in you also. I am simply here as a living example to come to you and tell you this might be your first start to the program. This might be your first group. This might be your first time trying to get yourself away from those substances. I don't care what stage you might be in, but I do want you to understand this. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. You have a heart of a champion. In order for you to truly live out the living victorious life, you're going to have to allow individuals like myself and others, majors, counselors, alumni. You need to take people who have made some success in their lives. Use those individuals to help you revive the heart of a champion that you have in you. All right? So you got to understand that. Now let's move. I don't know where I'm at. I hope that helps somebody, because listen, this is the thing about teaching minor adjustments. I mention it all the time when everybody who will be online. I always say the beauty of teaching minor adjustments is not only is it a blessing to other men and women, but in order for me to teach it to you, I have to continually apply it to my life. So you get what I'm saying? So not only am I just telling you about these things, while it's coming out of my mouth, watch this, I'm hearing it. So I'm speaking it to you, but I'm also speaking it into my own life. And not only that, it has been 15 years since I have been doing this exact same thing, and I have not changed it since. If it works for me, it's going to work for you. So let's look at this. The word living means the power of continuing life, the act of life, or living, somebody say comfortable. See, when you live in victorious, watch this, you start to live a comfortable life. Now, let me pull over, pause, and park right here for a moment. Living victorious or living a comfortable life does not necessarily mean I'm a 10-time published author. It doesn't mean you have to be a 10-time published author or a 1-time published author, right? That doesn't mean everybody's living victorious or comfortable living is different for everybody, right? Now, since August 2016, if I didn't mention this, I'm now a certified drug and alcohol counselor, right? So now I get up in the morning, I do my praying. The area back there is where I do spend my quiet time with God and praying and read the word. Then I go to work as a drug counselor and a recovery coach and help individuals who are struggling with the same strongholds that I was once struggling with. Watch this. That makes my life victorious, because I went from being on drugs to helping individuals who are currently struggling with drugs. That's a victorious life, right? Now, I'm not saying that to say you have to be a counselor. You can. I'm not saying that you have to be a recovery coach. You can. I'm just using it as an example that when you start to live a victorious life and you have locked in, you have put it in your brain, your mind, your spirit that you can't go backwards, right? You will start to live what I call a comfortable life. When you wake up and don't have to worry about who you got to rob to get the drugs, what they're going to say when they find out you stole the money out the bank. That's not a comfortable life, right? A comfortable life is when you don't have to worry about all of those things that you used to do when you were actively using. Man, am I still on the first page? You can tell I love minor adjustments, even though I know it's my program, but let's go. Who do you think has a victorious life? Who do you think have a victorious life? The reason why these questions are in there is because you need someone that you can see. You need someone that you can look at and say, wait a minute. He smoked the same drugs I did. He did the same thing I did. He did this. So now you have evidence that it's possible for your life to change. You have undisputable evidence that, because people who know me will often tell people everything he's saying about how he used to live and what he used to do, he is literally telling y'all the truth. That's how bad his life was. I'm saying that is because who do you think has a victorious life? Because if you think they have a victorious life, you need to get your eyes on them and find out what are they doing. If you think they have a victorious life, you need to find out what are they doing to be living this comfortable lifestyle or living a victorious lifestyle. You need to find out what they're doing. You need to find out. Listen, we talked about this in humility. One of the things that an individual, especially men, I can't speak from a woman's perspective. I have never been a woman. So I can only speak for men. Men are so prideful that they will neglect to take advice from other men. I mean, when it gets crucial, when it gets dire need, they might. But it'll take them a while because they be like, who you think he telling me? I know what I'm doing. When realistically, we don't. Because when I was going back and forth in the treatment, I used to get the same counselor, and he used to look at me like, you back again, huh, Mr. Mike? I said, yeah, man, I relapsed and everything. And he would call me in his office, and he would give me the same pamphlet. I'm like, hey, this the same book you gave me when I was here 6 months ago. He said, yeah, I'm going to keep giving you the same information. He said, it's not the information, son. It's you applying the information I'm giving you. So I'm going to give you the same information until you start applying it. I said all that to say this. A lot of individuals who are tuned into me right now have been in programs more than once, have been in rehabilitation centers, been incarcerated, and has relapsed more than once. But watch this. You need to find out, why are you keep repeating that cycle? Like we're complicated, and we'll start saying, the mental issue, or watch this. But no one can ever, no one, man, woman, no one can ever relapse if they don't go back. Listen to me. If going back means to go back to the substance that you got away from, it's impossible for you to relapse going forward. And it's the only way you can actually relapse, you will have to go back to, watch this, your vomit. The Bible talks about in Proverbs, like a dog that returns to its vomit, right? So you have to go back. It's nothing that the drug can do to me. If it's back there behind me, I will have to literally go back there to get it. You see that? You see that? Anywhere but backwards. Let's just say it's behind me, right? If I never go back there, it just stays behind me. That is literally the life that you have control of in regards to you living victorious. Your substance and your past is back there. The only way that your past can come up here, you have to go back to it. Hands down. Anywhere but backwards. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Okay. Where should you start to obtain? Oh, that's a good one. Where should you start to obtain a victorious life? Notice here, this is not in the books. This is my notes. The highlighted is my notes. You hear? I'm gonna repeat that. The highlighted, this is my book, and these are the notes in my book. Where should you start to obtain a victorious life? For me, build a spiritual foundation and a strong support network. So my strategy, or where I started, was to build up my spiritual foundation. I'm a faith-based person, so I developed my relationship with God. I built my spiritual foundation. I was mentioning this when I was just up in Wilkesboro at the Salvation Army, and I was in the chapel, and I said, I was walking in the chapel, and I walked over there. In the back is a whole shelf full of Bibles. I picked up all the Bibles. I was just looking at them, and I said, wow, these Bibles, they're not even being touched. They're not being read. And I said, how many people walk past these Bibles and all their answers is right there? They walk right past. I said, how many people have walked right past those books, never picked it up, and all their answers are right there? Wow. Anyway, let me move. Building a spiritual foundation and a strong support network. The support network is because you can't rely on one person. You want to always have a support network around you. My personal relationship with God is my foundation. Everything I do is built off that foundation. But I am not super spiritual where I think I don't need a strong support network around me. We all have similar beliefs. Not necessarily everybody in my support group are believers of Jesus Christ. I'm going to say that again. Not everyone in my support group are believers of Jesus Christ. They are not. They are a strong support network because they are going in the same direction that I'm going in. Right? So you got to remember, to obtain your victorious life, you got to find out where you're going to start at. What's your foundation built upon? That's a good starting point. Let's look at how do you maintain a victorious life? How do you maintain a victorious life? Let me give you some words here. These are some powerful words. If you got pen and paper, you better write these down. I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to take me a drink of water and give you a second to get a pen and a paper. All right. Listen. How do you maintain a victorious life? This is how you do it. Discipline, structure, integrity, character, and boundaries. This is how you maintain a victorious life. The number one thing on that list, you're going to have to live a disciplined life. Why do you need a disciplined life? It's because if you're not disciplined about where you go, who you go with, who you let in your car, disciplined life. What you do when you wake up in the morning. Do you wake up in the morning and go right to social media? Or do you wake up in the morning and pray, thank God you're alive? What do? Are you disciplined, right? A disciplined life puts you in a better position to live a victorious life because you're very disciplined. This is very disciplined. And the next word, structure. So discipline and the structure life are very important. If I get off work at a particular time after 15 years of living the life that I live now, and I get off work at a certain time, if I'm not at my house at a particular time, my wife will call me. Because why would she call me? She checking on you? No, I live such a disciplined and a structured life that she has a bell in her head that, wait a minute, I haven't seen my husband and it's a such and such time. And that's not saying she's checking on me. It's just that my life is so disciplined and structured that she like, no, he usually home. If I call him or not, he's home, or he's at this program, or he's online teaching minor adjustments at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Watch this. She know right now, even though my wife not home, she knows exactly right now what I'm doing because I live a disciplined and a structured life. Now, this is very important in order for you to maintain a victorious life. You must live a disciplined and a structured life. And you must, the next word, have some integrity. Your integrity. You got to have some integrity of both of these next two words, integrity and character. Both of them are similar, right? They can be interchangeable, but they have two different meanings. However, integrity and character, it focuses on two aspects or one aspect, both of them focus on, and that's what you do when nobody is looking. Your character and your integrity is not when people are watching. Your integrity and your character shows the real you when nobody is watching, or at least when you don't think they're watching, because now everybody got a camera. Everybody got a camera, man. You might think they're not watching, they're watching. But listen to me. You have to have your integrity and your character. Whatever you're doing when nobody is watching, whatever you're doing when people are watching, and whatever you're doing when nobody appears to be watching, that's your integrity. That's your character. Look those two words up and see the similarities, and also look those words up and see the differences. I can't quote them, but I know they have a lot of different differences and they have a lot of similarities. You might be a lot more educated than me, so you tell me. And the last one is boundaries. Oh, man. These 5 things right here, I hope y'all can hear me. I hope the mic got this real loud and clear. Discipline, structure, integrity, character, and boundaries. You have to set boundaries. In my home, where I am right now, my boundary is nobody smokes and drink in my home. This is my home, right? So when individuals come to my house, they might smoke and they might drink outside of whatever they do in their life. I don't follow people around, right? But when they come in my territory, my boundaries, none of that exists in here. You can walk through here and everything. You're not going to smell nothing, right? Because I have set boundaries. I have set boundaries about where I will go. You have to do the same thing. I'm talking about living victorious. In order for you to maintain living victorious, you're going to need discipline. You're going to need structure. You're going to have to develop your integrity, and you're going to have to develop your character, and you're going to have to develop your boundaries. Character and integrity is very crucial, and I had to develop that when I was in the program, because when I was in the program initially, before I got to America's Keswick County of Mercy, I was in the program. I was doing a lot of things that my character wasn't intact. I had to develop that. I'm not telling you I just mastered it from coming out of 22 years of lying, cheating. You know, when I was in the Salvation Army, I was taking clothes from the warehouse and doing all that type of stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But because I didn't have my character and integrity intact. Once I developed my integrity and character of knowing to follow the rules, or following the rules was crucial to me maintaining my victorious life, I had to start to change and say, wait a minute, I can't be lying, cheating, stealing, and talking about, I ain't using substance when I leave out of here. It doesn't, it sound good. It's like cosmetics. It's like makeup. You put makeup on it. That's what that is if you don't do that. And that's okay, though. You have to be developed in that area. But this is why you're taking a mind adjustments program. This is why you're here. Let's see. I also want to see, let's go to, let's do the next one. Is it possible? Oh man, that's a good time. Is it possible to learn from your mistakes and losses and losses? I'm sorry. Your mistakes, this is important here. Your mistakes must become your mentors. Your mistakes, our mistakes, don't throw the mistakes away, Mr. Michael Mickey Williams Jr. Listen, your mistakes becomes your mentors. You can always tell, I say this so much, you can always tell when individuals have learned from their mistakes because they won't repeat them. So when a person doesn't repeat the mistakes that they made previously, the only reason they don't repeat them is because, number one, they suffered consequences enough and they tired of it. And also their mistakes became their mentors. Their mistakes taught them what not to do. Oh man, listen. Oh, man, listen to me. Man, I listen, I'm giving you this for free. Your mistakes becomes your mentor. When your mistakes become your mentors, you won't repeat it. So you won't go back to you're not going to go back to your vomit is because you know how the consequences was. I'm telling you, when I discovered the simplicity of drugs, alcohol, and crime, right? When I discovered that as long as I don't go back to the substance, everything changes. It seems like it's hard, but each day you make the determination that I'm not going back. The further you keep doing that, or the more times you make that determination that I'm not going back, things in front of you are going to start to part ways. It's going to start to open up. It's going to start to give. It just happens. It's like it has always been mine, but since I kept going back, I kept going farther away from what was already mine. Ooh, that's a good tweet right there. Somebody tweet that one. Listen, it's like my living victorious life has always been mine. But my life, or my comfortable life of living a victorious life, was farther away. The reason why it appeared to be farther away is because I kept going that way. But when I stopped going that way, the life that was truly already mine before the foundations of the earth, it became closer, or I got closer to it. I'm not saying this is just me. This is also your life. If you don't go that way, you're going to walk literally into things that has always been yours. Well, now, granted, this is funny right here. Now, I had hair before. Real curly hair, right? But if I wasn't going back all that time doing all those substances, I'd probably still be up here with my Oh, man, this is so funny. Listen, anywhere but backwards. Let me get out of here. Listen, are you comfortable? I'm going to leave you with this. Are you comfortable living that way? Watch this. The reason why I say that is because I remember I was incarcerated one time, and I call home like always when we get in jail. Now we need everybody to get us money. We need socks. We need we stuff we worried about when we get in jail. We wasn't worried about when we was running the street. But anyway, I called my sister one day from jail, and I was talking to her, and she made the statement, or she asked the question, do you like being on drugs, or do you like being in jail? And I said, wow. Watch this. This the funny part. I had to think about it. Listen to me. Listen to me. She asked the question, and I literally had to pause and think about it. And I said, why you say that? She said, because you come home from jail, you get healthy, you look good, you come home, everybody see you shining. Then you get back on drugs and go back in rehab and go back in jail again. Then you come home, you do it all over again. And she says, I just have to ask you, Maybe you like get on drugs, and you like going into rehabilitation centers, and you like going in there. And I said, wow, that's a deep question. I had to actually pause. I didn't know, was I comfortable in a facility or institution more than I was comfortable on the streets? At that time, I didn't know the answer to that question. So I said, I don't know. But I said all that to say this. If you don't go back, you will live a victorious life. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Minor Adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose, primary mean our main goal, our main aim, our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary to live a victorious life. You gotta make some necessary adjustments. Discipline, structure, integrity, character, boundaries. These are all things that are necessary in order for you to maintain living victorious. I hope you had a good group today. Again, Minor Adjustments is anywhere but backwards. Check out the website, leave some comments, concerns, criticism, anything you might want to do. I hope you got something out of it today. Remember, more importantly, if you didn't get anything about this, anything out of here, more important than anywhere but backwards, remember, you have the heart of a champion. No matter what the drugs did to you, no matter how many times you may have failed, you have the heart of a champion in you. You just need someone to help revive you. All right? Have a great day.